Okay, getting the first pick. Oh, get three, Pyro, get three with the
Blade Kick putting on a clinic. Whole team's down. Oh!
Experience tranquility.
All right, welcome everyone to the Tranquility Gaming Harmony Tier Preseason. I am one of your hosts for this evening, TheZohan, and I'm joined by Ty.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, go ahead. No. How are you doing?
Right. Welcome back to I was about to say Overwatch Tranquility. That's going to take some time to get used to, but you know, it's Tranquility Gaming. We've expanded, and we're expanding right back into Overwatch. Tonight we got a match between Geometric and Koala Kings, and in one way this is actually a rematch from a different tournament. It was, I believe, let me double check, it was between Wisdom Academy, which is enemy team of Wisdom, go figure, and this team Geometric. It was in the League Zero Championships where Geometric lost 2-1, so this shouldn't be a complete stomp tonight. We should at least see one map from whichever team loses. And even better, you got some players from former Koala Kings on Geometric when it comes to V and it comes to Wooly. They were former Koala Kings members, both supports. So that means Koala Kings, completely new support line this season.
Right. How do you think that's going to play up in these matches?
Well, I mean, so one thing that of my opinion, is that last season, Koala Kings, they had a very, very mechanically good core with their tanks and DPS. Their supports were also very good mechanically, but they also had the brains backing it up. They were probably the smartest players from what I was seeing, as well as their off-tank position. So coming into this season, Geometric's kind of taking some of the brains away from Koala Kings and putting it into their own organization. Considering the fact that Koala Kings probably one of your top 3 favorite teams to win all of Harmony this year, or this season at the very least, that's going to be a really big boost to Geometric and make them at least a top 8 contender, in my opinion.
Right. Well, I think we are going to be hopping in to our first map, which will be Nepal control map, 1st to 3, and whoever loses this is going home. Who are you going to give it to?
Well, I mean, I gotta give it to Koala Kings. That's the team that I know and love. That's the team that I've seen. Unfortunately, user intel's on that team. It's just a joke, don't worry. But they're just such a good team. They went to our grand finals of Harmony last season. They did unfortunately get that 4-0 defeat, but they still went all the way, and they looked really, really good doing it. Probably a top 3 team throughout all of Harmony last year. This year, coming into it, looking to try and finally claim the crown that the Kings deserve.
All right. Well, this is going to be a lot of fun. You know, first match, at least for me with Tranquility. Definitely not your first, but it's going to be exciting regardless for everyone. As we are jumping into Nepal, you know, winner loses this. We may be seeing the winner next. Is it next Tuesday? Next Tuesday. As I was being told, we're going to be seeing. Hopefully, we're going to be seeing one of these teams next Tuesday. But regardless, we are hopping in to our first map. What do you think is going to be the key here?
So Nepal Village, everybody knows it. It's a rush map. A lot of the time you'll see teams primarily run out with Reinhardt, they'll run with Symmetra, sometimes you'll see Cassidy, but mainly the Mei, Lucio, and Reinhardt. Here we see both teams starting on that. Emily, you're trying to trick me. I'm not falling for it tonight. Not again.
I really hope, you know, going into these matches we don't see a Lucio Mercy, but
don't tempt
you know, sometimes the people like to troll. They like to have fun.
I mean, I've seen weirder things come out of the Harmony tier, and considering the fact that it's a new team, wouldn't be overly crazy, but there we go. Switching over to the Baptiste. Definitely a good choice here. Let's see whichever team makes it to the point first is such a huge advantage. And yeah, they both do the same exact TP rollout, I believe.
Yeah, so we are going straight into point. Everyone is right on point. A great wall up right at the Reinhardt for Prince Zizu is already walled off. However, a wall by Churd has saved him, and Bad Ashes has gone down. And Rocket, however, the main tank Rocket has also been eliminated. Another great wall takes out Hypnosis from their mech. And already just kind of a lot of trades. What do you think? What do you think won them? Excuse me, I don't know which team is good right now.
You're fine, but it was really good walls from both sides, but it's the speed that Koala Kings had from their walls. It's Sergeant Pepper who had really good early walls. They got the first wall. That's what got them the win in that fight, and now they're just gonna help themselves to this free high ground for a little bit.
Yeah, taking the high ground with the wall. We do see Sergeant Pepper already 10% from that Blizzard. I mean, that has to be such a key ult coming into this next fight.
Oh, for sure. Blizzard's one of the most important ults, and you have to watch out for Hypnotos to try and eat this Blizzard. If he doesn't, then that's gonna basically be a free fight win for all in. Oh, what a slam!
Yeah, huge slam by Rocket, already clearing out everyone. And then earlier, I don't know if you noticed, Prince Zizu actually had his shatter blocked off by Churd.
Oh, I didn't actually see that. It was by Churd, you said?
Yeah, by his own teammate. His own teammate blocked his shatter off.
Oh, Churd,
Just
no.
a lot of fun, a lot of fun. And we're going already to 60%. 3 ults online for Koala Kings Geometric. Close to maybe 2 or 3, but you know, still very low. 4 ults now online. Excuse me, 4 ults almost online.
Probably going to be a dry fight here. As the sim wall immediately is going to be used by the Koala Kings. Geometric probably just going to have to hold off. Just give them time, give them space. Might be able to farm a wall of their own, though, for this fight. That could be really huge.
That could be huge. We do see a couple ults starting to... Okay, we do see the Baptiste wall coming from Milo. Already forcing Geometric to back out just a little bit, however. And also utilizing, taking down that Mortality Field. Okay, Sim wall does finally go down by Bad Ashes. A lot of ults coming out for Geometric. And I don't think it is... Oh, Geometric finally does win a fight, taking out 3. And finally, Geometric wins a fight. However, already 99%.
Yeah, it's a classic, you know. There's no other words I can use for that fight for Geometric other than main tank differential from Zizu. It was just a really good Earth Shatter from the main tank of Geometric, and coming out, diffing Rocket, not a small feat.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was definitely a lot of a press Q fight, a lot of a press, you know, press Q here to win fight. We are now going into this next fight. 2 ults online for both teams, Simwall coming up for knocked. Battling on this high ground. Okay.
It's a small thing, but Geometric are closer to the support ult, so if they can farm those faster, that's an advantage for later in the game.
Right, yeah, we do see Geometric already going back to point. High Fighter using Diva Bomb?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
that would
Rocket picks out. Oh, Hypnosis taking out both supports. High Fighter taking out Hypnosis. I don't know who's gonna win this fight. It's gonna be down to aim. It's gonna be down to whoever can take out the next person, and it does look like Geometric does win this fight. Crazy fight. We see Diva Bombs taking out supports.
Yeah.
We see Shatters taking out main tanks.
I mean,
What do you make of that?
It was such a good Blizzard bomb combination between Churd and Hypnotos. Like, Churd really avenged his previous mistakes from blocking his own Ryan Shatters to killing 2 with a Blizzard bomb, and also Emily coming up on the window there. That was a small ult charge advantage that I mentioned earlier, being off, but
Okay, well, as we were talking, 3 members of Geometric already taken out. We're already down to the last 2, and with this being 99%, this has to be final fight territory. Emily is taken out, and Hypnosis is taken out. We are going to be in the last stages of this round. Geometric has to do something. Shatter taking out Knocked. I think Wooly finally was able to touch point. However, multiple players are going down.
I think that was actually the Earthshatter one-shot from Prince Zeju, and really, it doesn't really accomplish much. It's just going to be Koala Kings with the control and the 4 swaps that they come up with that will win them the first round, and it's really, really good from them. They recognize that when they had an ult disadvantage. They recognized when they were losing fights. They didn't overinvest too much. Really good play from both sides so far.
Really good play. I mean, obviously a bit of unlucky, I think, last fight for Geometric. You know, getting taken out right at the end. 3 going down almost immediately. I think must have felt pretty bad for Geometric, but it did work out in the end.
This is a really interesting development. If Noct stays on the Pharah, this is a really, really rare hero to see on Nepal Sanctum. You normally see, okay, that makes more sense. I was about to say you normally, okay, you're tricking me up here, Noct. I said I wasn't going to be tricked, but here we are, and you're just throwing all the things at me. And it's an interesting matchup, the Tank Bunker versus the Goth Goats.
Yeah, we do see a quite anti-dive matchup for Koala Kings coming out. Owl Skins. Okay, we do see the Pharah peppering down a little bit. Immediately hacked, however. All right, don't think anything will come out of it. Churd already down to 1 HP. Is able to teleport out of there. And both teams are staggering around. We do see the Pharah getting around. Okay, nice block by TIE Fighter, taking off that. And it immediately goes down. I think maybe just a bit too aggressive there.
Yeah, it's the excellent awareness from TIE Fighter to recognize, okay, Summer's going to be around here any second. Let's just take out them out from the hack. And also, it's really, really good for them to identify that there's no Translocator available as well, but it's just the sheer overwhelming might of this composition. The Moira healing is just indomitable in this matchup, and the Primal Rage, already 86%, shows who really can do the damage in this comp. Not a high damage hero generally, but he can be under the right circumstances.
Right. We do see our next fight coming in. Emily is going to have that Moira Coalescence Noct having the Rocket Barrage. What do you think is going to be the key here for Koala Kings to break through this really, really mobile comp coming from?
I mean, it's really hard for this comp to do anything considering how immobile they are, like you are implying, and this is going to be a big barrage!
All right, huge barrage coming up. Bright Noct taking out 2 and already gonna get another 2 with the rockets. All right, huge play for Koala Kings. We sounded a bit worried there. However, they were really able to take it out from there.
I mean, shades of Zeno from last season. The freaking rocket barrage destroys the backline. Really, really good play from Noct. I mean, it's really what you got to do with this composition. You need your Farda player to be that sort of Jinmu-esque player where they're going to go an aggressive, play a little dumb, but also make the plays happen. Now you've got such a big ulti pitch. You have this bongo. You can do the unlimited power combo with the amplification matrix as well if you want, but...
All right, yeah, Sergeant Pepper already immediately taking out Emily, and I think with that bongo, just, yeah, we already saw Geometric already having to retreat, already losing their main support, all of healing, and we're also going to go into this. You did mention it earlier. The Baptiste ult is still online for Koala Kings and also Diva Bomb. I just... How do you think they have to break through? Sure, it's not even close, a little close to EMP, but not this late.
It's about that EMP, really. You need to start farming that a little bit faster than you have been here. And this bomb might do some damage, though. Just to deploy this.
All right, Bomb taking out a little bit. Wooly taking out Mellow, however. However, not already taking out 3 again. Rez coming out. And just, I'm a bit afraid for Geometric at this point. Churd's not even at EMP yet. And I don't think Wooly's also hasn't even built his sound barrier yet. Or excuse me, their sound barrier.
You need that EMP to break through this. 90 seconds left, and you still don't have it. That's such an important ultimate in this compositional battle, where you need to be farming as much as possible off this Steve and off this Orisa.
All right, you see Emily using that Coalescence. Milo using, Milo already taking out Prince Izu. Soundberry coming out to save everyone as much as they can. A lot of ults are being used right now. And taking out, okay, Imp not getting anything right, taking out Bad Ashes. And this is just such a chaotic fight. We see TIE Fighter getting out of mech. And however, Noct, I think, just putting so much damage into everyone. And with Bongo coming out, Howard gets booked off the map by Chur taking a Orisa off the map. Milo, however, taking out Prince Izu again, Noct.
You're not clutching this.
Just Noct has to clean up for the rest of Koala King. Or yeah, for the rest of Koala Kings.
That's so real.
GG. Map takes Koala Kings win map number 1.
I mean, that's filthy. there's no words I can use for that except for filthy. Koala Kings lost that fight fair and square, and then they just decided, you know what? No, we didn't. We didn't lose that. Your EMP 3 of us? No, you didn't. We're just gonna keep killing you. We're gonna keep clutching. It's just such good teammate priorities from the Mercy player. That's something that I have to mention right off the bat. Really, really good from Terafu. It's really, really good, as well as TIE Fighter. I think has been an excellent player so far for this team, where it always feels like he's in the right spots at the right time, helping to shut down the value that Geometric's trying to find. And Geometric feels a little bit disorganized potentially with what they were trying to do with that composition. Didn't have quite the right idea, playing it more like a dive than a rush, which, most of you know, just not the correct way to play that composition.
It did seem Emily was able to get her coalescence quite quickly, quite frequently. Wooly, however, just I think they were going more for that Reddit Lucio, going for a little bit aggressive, and it just didn't seem like they were able to get anything through it. And I think, of course, we mentioned it before, Churd just not having EMP until the last fight of that round. I think there's just no way they could really come back after Nock just clearing out almost 4 people every fight.
Yeah, and this is really the play that sunk that Koala Kings truly sucked their teeth into Geometric to win Nepal. That a little bit of a Pharah play. It's such a small thing that seals the deal for them, but oh my god, I'm stuttering so much. Exemplifies what Koala Kings are so good at. They will mechanically diff you, and they will just click on people better than you will. And the main way to stop that is you need to have better teamwork. They have the right composition to deal with that, but Koala Kings just suffocate you with how good their players are.
Right. And also just, I think, team coordination. I mean, we saw great ult usage by Koala Kings, only utilizing one ult, I think, when they needed to, and finally investing more, I think, when Geometric finally was able to get a lot of ults online. And so just, I think, just great ult usage. What do you think?
Yeah, it's really that Pharah barrage that came out so many times. Compare the number of barrages we saw. I believe it was 2 or 3. Compare that with the EMPs. We didn't see a single EMP even available until, like we've been talking about, the very last second. It's been really good from the Pharah player there to find that much damage and find that much value. And just heads up on the ongoing match, we will be seeing Temple of Anubis as our next map. 2CP, gotta love it.
Gotta have fun.
And V will be coming in, replacing Wooly on the side of Geometric.
How do you think that's going to change up? What do you think that's going to do for the side of Geometric?
So the thing with Wooly is a really, really good player, right? Wooly is very consistent, very reliable. They've always been a very good player. V traditionally has been a duo with Wooly, if I remember correctly, on Koala Kings. So seeing with them compete for the same slot in this sort of situation, it's pretty interesting. V is a really good Mercy player in particular, I think. So that sort of shows what they're planning for Temple of Anubis, as well as the fact that V can also play a nasty Brig as well, from what we saw in Koala Kings last year. So that should be generally what I'm expecting to see from them on this map, not any Lucio.
Right. No Lucio coming out. Do you think Koala Kings may sticks to that not double barrier, but Orisa D.Va backline? Maybe a bit of rush. What do you think is going to change up for them?
On defense, I definitely see a situation where Koala Kings just says, let's just keep running the Orisa bunker. It's a very strong defensive composition. It lets you play whatever you really want on your DPS and supports because your tanks are so durable and don't need basically any resources. So you can really mix and match whatever you want. You can run Ashe, Widow, Tracer, Pharah. I particularly like Tracer on the first plane defense here because you can really control the bottom left area by the little shop with the little roof in the room there. Tracer can just absolutely control that part of the map better than a lot of heroes can control any part of any map. It can really be oppressive to try and get through. But on that same note, I think a Winston defense is totally not out of the question here.
Right. Yeah, Winston's always fun. I personally play main tank, so any kind of main tank support, anytime a main tank takes focus, I'm quite happy with that. But I think I do have a Reinhardt I have a Reinhardt figure right there. I have a Reinhardt sweater at my coat rack. So, you know, gotta love the Reinhardt plays.
Real quick fun fact. I'm currently wearing my Hangzhou Spark Gushui jersey.
Ooh, fancy.
You know how much I love main tank players. The Plat Chat video just dropped today about who they would rate as their top 10 main tanks. Gushui was 8th place. He was robbed. Should have been number 1. I will die by that fact.
Who was number 1, if I can ask?
Super. Unfortunately.
I have my SF Shock jersey in my closet. Might have to bring it out for a little bit. Not super, just so you know. It is Choi Hyobin.
As long as it's Choi, I'll allow that. But
it is Choi Hyobin, and we are finally getting into our second map, Temple of Anubis. I believe, yeah. So we do have Geometric on attack, going for double barrier. It seems.
Double Bubble's always been really consistent on this point, and they're running a pretty traditional comp around it. The Echo Tracer, nothing too surprising. Brig Ana, it's your standard Double Bubble composition. You might want to see, for example, a Mercy play to help. I predicted the future to help with the Echo, and even with those Winston dives, damage amping a Winston up on his initial dive and then immediately switching over to your Echo can actually do a surprising amount of work. And on the defense, Sigma instead of the Diva, totally fine with that.
Yeah, we are seeing knocked on that fair again. I don't think they really have to change that up, as we are going to get into our first point. Geometric gonna be having to try to break through.
I think the most interesting thing for me actually is all on the Cassidy. You don't normally see that, but playing the Mercy means you do need a little bit of counter dive, and that works.
Yeah. So a little bit of counter dive, a little bit of sustain. I think especially with Noct being able to take out a lot of Prince's, he just almost immediately, yeah, as we just see, immediately taking out that barrier. Null is quite low already, and also TIE Fighter already pretty low.
Yeah, that's one of the That's one of the reasons I love Diva on this point. You don't need as many resources into your Diva as you would the Sigma, but Sigma can do a lot of mental pressure.
Alright, as we see, Noct takes out Prince Zizu. Trying to hit Bad Ashes a little bit, but they are able to get out of there. And Null takes out V. Church is going to be without any support. Emily going to have to solo heal the rest of her team.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a reset, though, so you don't really mind. Not sure how I feel about Bad Ashes trying to get out there. Only person who can threaten you is Noct, and you can kind of farm the Pharah here, especially because that gives the rest of your team a 5v4 opportunity. And good dive.
Prince Zizu going in, helping with Hypnosis, getting a little bit of ult. Alright, excuse me, a little bit of charge. Bad Ashes holding Mega there a little bit. No, oh, is able to take out Null. Alright, we may be able to see Bad Ashes get a little bit more in with that pulse bomb.
Yeah, Bad Ashes has been really good in the mid fight, I think, so far.
Yeah, Mila's, oh, okay, you know, Charlie Field going out, and a huge stick on Mila, taking out Mila immediately. TIE Fighter has also already gone down, and I think this has to be first point for Geometric. And finally seeing a lot of life back into this team with a huge sleep too on Noct by Emily.
All they really needed to get in there was a really good bubble engage, and they got it. Rocket got the pull on the first one, couldn't get anything off that first dive, but the moment you actually get your Winston lodged into the enemy team, force them back, you immediately unlock so much space with the attackers. This ante might lead to a little bit of an offensive push, but I don't think they quite recognize that, though.
I do think we saw Hypnosis, excuse me, is it Hypnosis or Hypnotos? Hypnotos. I see Toss on all I think is Protoss in StarCraft, so, you know, I just can't say Toss for too long. We did see them switch over to that Diva bomb, or excuse me, to that Diva, not Diva bombing just yet. Koala King's already coming in with 5 ults. However, a couple ults coming out. Churd takes out Noct immediately. However, Null is able to shade it out for Emily and Churd, and also a 3K. They can also take out Prince Zizu. And with the res by Noct, I don't think this is gonna work out for Geometric at all. And I think V almost wasted their ult there.
Yeah, the Valkyrie from V wasn't quite right there. It seemed like a little bit of a last-ditch effort to try and save a fight that was already going south. You could have potentially done it, but the rule that can never be overstated and never be overruled is that 2 CP attack, you need 6 players. It's so rare that attack with 5 living players ever works out, the respawn advantage is just too great for the defenders. You need a full stack of 6 to where once you lose 2 players, if you're not already in a massive advantage, like 6 players sit on the other side, just get out.
Right. Oh, and Null already immediately taking out Bad Ashes. I think we may be able to see rotate. However, Knock does go down immediately after taking out Hypnotoss, but Howard Baby Diva taking out 2-for-2 Prince Izu, using that ult to try to take as much space as he can. He's able to take out Bungo and Null. Mortality Field going down, Milo going down, and with this Diva Bomb, I'm afraid for the rest of Koala Kings, and we may be able to see. Oh, okay, we do see the Diva Bomb coming out from TIE Fighter, however, getting nothing.
I mean, Hypnotoss got a remake kill. I believe it was onto Tirafu. I don't know how he found that.
Yeah, big play coming out from Hypnotoss Rocket, trying to utilize as much as he can. Null getting nothing with that Deadeye. However, with combination from Rocket, is able to take out Prince Izu. And Noct takes out Emily. No more Ana healing for the rest of the team. And I think we may, and with V coming down, I think we might be able to see we do see a huge play by Koala Kings coming out.
That's just what I'm saying. Like, you cannot properly attack a 2 CP point without 6 players. They lost 1 at the very start of that, and it looked like they had good control, but that one missing player for just the start of the recontest means that it's going to be, you have 1 less player focus firing on the 4 or 5 people coming back. You're in an even fight right there. That is going to be so difficult. You need to get a quick resurrect in that situation. And now they're just standard brawl. Yeah.
And I do want to mention how we did see T4-2 switch over to that Brig. I think right when I think they were worried about Bad Ashes on that Tracer, and Noct also switching over, being permanently on Tracer. Yeah, so let's see how they do this.
This is a sneaky one. Doesn't quite land on anything though. That's a little bit unfortunate.
Doesn't land on anything. Milo already has their immortality taken out. TIE Fighter instantly goes down to the rest of the team, and Rocket's already taken out. And with this wall, I'm afraid for the rest of Koala Kings, I think we may be finally seeing the second point for the rest of the team. If not, unless Noct's able to hold it. However, Melee by Churn is able to take him out.
It's a great recontest into that attack, and realistically, gotta give all the credit to Churn for the last second high noon block there. That's so critical for that team.
And so we do see the 2 points on the board for Koala Kings, 1:11 on the clock. How do you rate the defense for Koala Kings?
Oh, I got to rate it now. It's probably gonna be like a 7.5 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Yeah, 10 hold for Koala Kings. It was a good hold though. I mean, it was just really good situations coming up from Geometric on the attack. Like for example, that switch onto Brawl. Very smart. Like I said, the May wall blocking off the high noon light LS. Great play. It was really the great plays from Geometric that got them the point rather than any failures from Koala Kings. And it's just good to see such good adaptations from a team that looked potentially unadaptable on the first map.
Right. And we do see them coming in with double shield Bad Ashes on that Ashe. And also, Torb coming out for sure.
I'm a big fan of the Torbjorn, actually. I think, especially when paired with the Ashe, in certain situations, you basically can have an 8v6 with Bob and Turret. It's not a massive advantage as an 8v6 might sound like, but it can really hammer in some damage. And I'm curious as to see whether or not Bad Ashes will be able to live up to her name or not. Sorry.
Well,
their name.
Of course you had to use that. All right, well, going into this point for Koala Kings, we have a dad joke coming into it. Koala Kings coming with the rush, with the brawl rush coming in, double shield, and I don't. Let's see how this goes. So they immediately go towards Mega,
and immediately you see that they have to respect the brawl. Backing up, giving basically the entire early platform here up for free. If they did something like a Great Bamboozle. Or just wall.
Noct already using a huge wall on that. Immortality has to be coming out. However, that everyone is already pretty low. Prince Izu is already taken out. Bad Ashes is half, and I think might be able to. Yeah. Okay, but Rocket does go down. Is traded out by Hypnotoss, and I'm a bit afraid. I'm already worried. Great wall taking off the rest of the team. Trying to do as much as he can.
Good job.
Wall is taken out, however. And we do see 3 on the side of Hypnotos holding the high ground. Prince Zezu's back on that ball. TieFighter is able to get back into mech. Not taken out and Churd resurrected. So I think a hold.
Yeah,
After what seemed like such a huge pin on Emily. She's taking out no main support heal, or excuse me, yeah, no main healer support already. And now a win for the side of Koala Kings.
That looked like it was so back and forth. I thought that was going to go to Geometric for a moment, and they're
Bob
still
coming
investing.
out.
They're still investing. 25, Bob, hero.
All right, we see Bob coming out. No, I don't think this is gonna really do anything. Bad Ashes does take out Null, and TieFighter with Baby Diva takes out Bad Ashes.
Zezu? Zezu, no. Okay, get out. No, Zezu. No, Zezu, you're dead. Zezu's dead. Zezu, Overwatch is dead.
The prince is dead. Long live the prince. Prince does have.
That's what you
I'm
can
sorry,
do.
we're memeing on this broadcast today, everyone. Okay, oh, he's shattered by the side of Rocket. Immediately takes out 2. However, is straight out by Mellow and Nox. And with this Graviton Flux, I don't think he's going to be able to get everything. V takes out Rocket, however. A bit of an equal fight. All comes down to aim. But I think Koala Kings are going to be backing out of there.
They recognize the whole, you can't attack 2 CT with 5 players, and they get out. A little bit of a stagger as well onto TieFighter. That's good, and it was also a very good switch from Prince Zezu, realizing, you know, I'm not going to be able to go back to the Orisa. Probably can't stay on the ball. Let's just go Reinhardt. Give the team a little bit more of a backbone against the brawl. And I like that decision. You're able to hold more space, not have to give quite as much up. Hypnotos as well into the Diva falls into that idea as well. Perfect mirror match.
Perfect mirror match. However, ult advantage coming from the side of Koala Kings. Immediately taking out. Okay, Prince Zezu is immediately taken out. Blizzard also taking out quite a few people. Bad Ashes is able to take out Null Bower. I don't think it's going to matter too much. And it's already behind the rest of the team.
What are you doing?
Wall is. Oh, okay, we're gonna have to see how. We're gonna have to see how Churd is able to hold everyone off. A couple respawns are coming back for the rest of the team.
I mean, that's
okay. Diva Bomb coming behind, walled off immediately. Milo does take out Prince Zezu. Rocket, he just swinging around. It might be able to take out a couple. However, is already very low. Noctis does take out Bad Ashes with that Deadeye.
I mean,
I think this maybe will be a hold.
It's close. It's very close. This amplification matrix might be able to sustain them for a little bit longer, especially with Prince Zezu just killing 2 right there.
Yeah, Prince Zezu does take out 2, and with Amelia, with Emily taking out Nilo. I just don't really see how Koala Kings is able to take this out. Not even a tick on the board too after that huge fight towards the right side.
And another good stagger onto Hypnotos, or onto TieFighter, I mean. But you know, if you want some actual analysis for that team fight that we just witnessed, I want you to try and do said analysis, because I am not touching that fight with the 10-foot limbo pole. The decisions these teams were making, Cassidy in the back line catching it out. And again, starting off the team fight with 5v6, you're not.
I mean, honestly though, it almost seemed to work out for them though. You know, Churd was able to wall off there, able to stall for the rest of the team, and so it just
the way though, almost always have the almost.
Almost have the almost, yeah. We are coming into this already. You know, we had an ult advantage for the side of Koala Kings. Oh, okay, huge flank shatter by Prince Zezu. However, nothing was able to come out of it. Immortality Field and Sound Barrier were used. However, immediately everyone else was able to be cleaned up for the side of Koala Kings. And another clean fight for the side of Hypnotos. Only using 1 ult, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, Prince Zezu.
2 ults, excuse me.
Prince Zezu does not look like a prince right now. Looks like he's taking complete control over his kingdom on this Reinhardt pick.
Emperor Zezu coming in.
Emperor Zezu is in
Emperor
the building.
Zezu.
And it's such a big ult advantage the defense has now as well. Like, the time bank, this started off looking really good for Koala Kings, but Geometric have just clawed it back into their own favor. Minute 40 left with a huge ult advantage. There's not a very big chance that they lose out on the time bank advantage.
Right. And we're coming into this next fight. 4 ults online for Hypnotos. Prince Zezu obviously can just swing for another one. Howard, a bunch of ults. Okay, 2 Diva Bombs. Okay, Diva Bomb coming up for TieFighter. Also utilizing multiple ults. Okay, getting shattered. Yeah, getting CC'd out of that. Nocta is able to take out the... I'm a bit confused what's going on. Okay, we see a couple ults coming. And another cleanup, I think. I This is crazy.
That's just a complete
Absolute
utter waste.
chaos. I'm
You're
getting
not
nerd chills.
I don't know what Rocket was thinking there. You're not capping this point right now. That was just a last ditch effort, Earthshatter. And now coming into this next fight, all you have is a high noon. You used your beat, you used your window. You are coming into this completely bare bones with just 12 o'clock. It's going to be so hard to cap this, even if the other side still doesn't have any ults.
Yeah, coming into this with no alts, I mean, I'm getting complete nerd chills. This is just a great hold by Geometric. Coming into this like with a 5-minute time bank, or excuse me, coming against this with a 5-minute time bank, and able to bring it down. We are in final fight territory. Let's see how they go. Okay, they're still going on the right side. They're gonna bring this down to the wire.
It's all about this wall. I mean,
all about this. It's all about this dead eye.
I mean, I was gonna say wall them when they come in, but now they're so strapped for time, they might just have to walk in. This is tight.
All right, he's already taken away. Amplification Matrix is going to be going out. However, 2 have already gone down for the side of Koala Kings, and no one is able to touch. GG, we are tied.
I mean, what a map for Geometric, especially at the waning moments there. Getting the lamp out at the very, very last second. That better be play of the game from Emily. I don't know why I said Emily, but not quite play the game, but that amplification matrix at the last second, man, it was so perfectly timed to block out that dead eye, save 2 players, and win them the defense. If that I keep doing that. If that lamp doesn't come out when it does, they lose that team fight. That high noon kills 2, and you most likely go into extra rounds. That lamp saves you an extra 5 minutes of your life, saves me an extra 5 minutes of my life, and saves you from the heart attack of another round of 2CP.
Yeah, that was an insane game. I have intense nerd chills from those final few fights, and I think we are going to be going into a 10-minute break. But until then, we will see you soon.
truth has a way of finding the light or changing in time. Did I fall in love? Did I make it up inside my mind?
right, everyone, we are back in the Tranquility Gaming Harmony tier preseason. We are currently 1-1 in a match between Koala Kings and Geometric. I'm TheZohan. I'm joined by Ty. Ty, what do you think so far?
Praise Emperor Zeju. That's my first thought. And second thought, we're going over into Eichenwalde, which it's a very, very fun map. It's actually, personally, probably my top 3 favorite maps, if not my actual favorite. Mostly because it is a map where both Farah and Reinhardt are perfectly viable, and that makes me happy. So, it's going to be very interesting, because both these...
Wait, are your mains Reinhardt and Farah?
No, it's actually like I'm a flex player. I play everything.
That's what I play mostly. Are those
My main
two.
hero is not Widow. But, it's interesting because one of these teams' best look has been with Reinhardt. The other team's best look has been with Pharah. So we're going to have to see how the dynamics work out and if either of these teams are going to try and deviate from the expected norms. Especially, I think, most interesting, most people, for whatever reason, don't know why, but they don't like to run Pharah on Eichenwalde anymore. It used to be a really big thing back in 2018. I don't know why people don't still do it. It's still probably in her top 3 best maps. So I'm curious to see if Koala Kings will actually go with it or avoid it in favor of something more like, for example, Cassidy May, a standard brawl comp, or if they want to go Ashe Echo or Ashe Tracer. There's a lot of different things you can run instead of the Pharah. I just personally think Pharah is really good here, and there's not really a good reason not to run it unless you're running something specifically else.
Right. Yeah. We're going into this. Hopefully, we see a bit of Pharah, and I think it's interesting. We saw in Nepal that Geometric really wasn't able to deal with that Pharah, and then on Temple of Anubis, they seem to do pretty well. I mean, what do you think was the difference in dealing with that Pharah?
Well, here's the thing that I like to compare it to. If somebody walks up to you on the street and randomly punches you in the face, you're not going to be ready for it. If you see the same dude the next day, your first thought is going to be, oh my god, he's going to punch me in the face. It's that sort of situation where you should know the Pharah is going to be coming. You have an idea that it's going to be there, so you're ready to punch him in the face instead.
I'm sorry. We do see knocked on that Pharah, ready to punch the rest of I'm sorry, everyone. That one broke me. We are seeing quite kind of a similar comp, I think, on Temple of Anubis for the side of Koala Kings. Sergeant Pepper.
Stop laughing.
I can't. We have observers who are trolling me now. Sergeant Pepper, of course, on that, Hanzo. How are Geometric going for the brawl? That Ashe is going to be vital in dealing with that pair, of course. I'm just V already taken out by Sergeant Pepper. All right, well, it's not Knock this time that's punching them in the face. It is Sergeant Pepper. Already retreat.
Superstar level player last season, and here we see the person punching them in the face. But Sergeant Pepper is such a good player. It does not shock me at all that V went down first to Sergeant Pepper. It does shock me a little bit that the Hypnotoss wasn't there to block it. Good wall to open it up for them too.
A nice wall to take a little bit of space away from the rest of the team. Noct already being able to take out Emily, and Bad Ashes was trying to take out Noct as much as they could, but the barrage has come out. Just an overwhelming fight for the I was gonna say for the bullies of Koala.
Okay, so first off, good Sega here onto Hypnotoss, but second off, it's such a good coaching onto Koala Kings that immediately once the brawl does that rotation, they go through the wall with their DPS and go on a flank. That's exactly what you need to do there. Send Sergeant Pepper and Noct onto the back line, get some kills for free. Coming in here, V is 33% to the sound barrier at a minute and a half in almost. That's a little bit much.
Yeah, bit worried already. Not getting able to be taken out, I think, by Bad Ashes. Prince Zizu was able to be saved by that Immortality Field. Churd is fairly low, however, the rest of the team is able to clean out the rest of Koala Kings. Sergeant Pepper attempting to use, kind of wasting an ult there, but maybe just wanting to switch after this point has been lost. And just, I think a clean win, able to take out Noct, and first point.
Yeah, I mean, they finally made the correct decision of, hey, we're a brawl team, we're a brawl comp. Let's stop trying to run around like pansies and actually run into the enemy team and punch them in the face. And they do. They send Zeju into the front line, just run it over the Orisa, run over the Baptiste, run over the Diva, and with good amplification matrix as well, opens the door for them really nicely to get some offensive value. But now they're not on the card, though.
Noct takes out V before taking out themselves.
That's not resable.
That's not resable. Milo already using that amplification matrix with Immortality Field coming down for Emily. They are able to rotate into Castle, and we see Geometric attempt to come out this top. All right, Bongo coming out for the rest for Rocket, already instantly taking down, and a lot of swing. Sergeant Pepper is able to take out V. Emily is already also taken out, and Noct, I think, should be able to clean this out unless Bud Ashes is able to just have a heyday. Yeah.
Welcome to Tranquility Gaming. It is day 5 of talking about how good the players on Koala Kings are and how mechanically gifted they are. Noct and Sergeant
How much they punch each other in the face.
and how much they just punch the enemy team in the face. I mean, it's just they both get picks. They both just decide this player is dead. I'm taking them out of the fight. And the Baptiste died. When I wasn't even looking, I was talking to you about how funny it is they're punching each other in the face, and the Baptiste dies. Are you kidding me?
I mean, I will say, coming into this next fight, we do see Geometric all gonna be coming in basically with 6 ults against the 2.5 almost for the side of Koala Kings. However, you know, it's all about they have to use those ults just to get in. Bad Ashes is using the Deadeye, I think. Does take out T for 2, all very, very key pickoff, especially as Noct will not be able to have any pockets any for long. Wall getting okay, the Wall does get TIE Fighter at the end. Freeze coming off, Charge getting nothing. However, Noct's taking out. TIE Fighter does eat that Blizzard, and already 5 ults coming out for Geometric, and I think a team win, but just very almost a Pyrrhic victory for the rest for Geometric.
I mean, it's Koala Kings making the, again, mostly correct decision. They get a really good high noon kill. Oh wait, no, I'm mixing the teams up again. It's Geometric with a really good high noon kill onto T for 2. That's the most important elimination if you're Geometric. You want the Mercy down. No Resurrect means that you have basically a double pick in one hero. And coming to this next fight, with only the Self-Destruct, that's another really good tool you have to take out the Pharmacy if you do it right.
Yeah, just a huge tool. Noct does go down a half hour, is healed by the rest of the team, and we're starting to see kind of an ult advantage for Koala Kings. Okay, he is able to take out most of the Geometric side before being traded out, and yeah, just I think a clean fight. We're starting to see that great ult usage and ult trade for Koala Kings. Geometric coming in. Okay, we do see a little bit of a switch. We'd see Winston coming out for Prince Azu, Emily going on to the Ana. I'd be a bit concerned if V stays on Lucio. You know, she hasn't really been able to get many beats off, and I think may have been. Yeah, I don't know. A bit concerned about Lucio Ana. Yeah, as we see Noct immediately taking out Emily.
I think that's more of a victim of circumstance than of poor decisions. The Lucio Ana can work really, really well. Lucio's typically, throughout all of Overwatch history, been debatably the best support at general peel. Brig can stop you from being dove. Lucio can stop the dive from getting you. He can just move you out of the way. And, oh, that's almost the other gun! Oh my god.
Nice hit on Sherd, however, wasn't able to finish it out.
The aim from this guy is ridiculous.
Yeah, we do see the great flicks. Sergeant Pepper going for a little bit of flank. Definitely, I think, playing a little cocky at the moment.
Oh my.
However, 5 ults online, Rocket utilizing that. Bongo, Bad Ashes coming out with the Deadeye. Let's see how it is. Prince Azu immediately taken out. I think jumped into that Bongo for some apparent reason. Bad Ashes isn't able to get anything from that Deadeye. No ults online. TIE Fighter taking out Bad Ashes. Kind of a little bit of comeuppance there for Bad Ashes, sadly. And I think a cleanup for the rest of Koala Kings. And unless someone can touch, we are on a 2nd point hold for the side of Koala Kings.
And don't say that quite yet. The Emperor has arrived, and goodbye, Emily. I guess it is.
I saw him jumping in, and I saw Pharah with Barrage. I'm not gonna call it as a stall, and especially with no ulting on the side of, for the side of Geometric. I was a bit too concerned there.
Even though the Bongo got destroyed early, the drum solo from Rocket got the main tank on the other side killed, and from that point forward, they were able to stagger their ultimates out in a way where Bongo's gone, wait a second, use the next ult, wait a second, use the next ult. It was really good timing on those ultimates to draw it out until the very last second. If they had just dumped everything in, gotten all those kills, everyone would be coming back in around the same time as Zeju. And that means that, you're not just killing off the stragglers, you're killing off a whole team. With Zeju being so desynced, thanks to Rocket's Bongo, that means that it's going to be really hard for you to have a good recontest, and it's just really good old staggering from Koala Kings.
Right. And we do see, I mean, we're finally seeing geometric. I think, you know, if we can't deal with it, join it, as we do see the Far Mercy coming out. A little bit of a change, though. You know, Bad Ash is going back to that Ash that we saw in Temple of Anubis, which I think worked for a while, you know, on that first point. Obviously used Bob a bit too early, I'd say.
They weren't that bad, though. They were not a bad Ash.
Yeah. They were not a bad Ash. You definitely utilized Bob a little bit too fast. I'm gonna say it now. You shouldn't use it just to stagger. TIE Fighter exploring. Okay. Okay.
So one thing that you can actually do here, if you switch the Baptiste over to a Lucio, every member of this team can actually make the flank that Notch just did. So that means you can have a full team come around the back and attack in cabin, where Sergeant Pepper's coming from right now. You can, not necessarily there, but you know, in cabin next door. It gives you a lot of obstacles for potential damage.
Yeah, we do see a couple, I think just mostly picks. Okay, Shirt is able to be taken out quite immediately. And I think V also taken out by Noct as well. I think, yeah, just great pokes by the side of Koala Kings. Rocket just being able to stay alive. Sergeant Pepper finally, it does take out Prince Azu, but it's straight up by Hypnotoss. And I think this is a very clean first fight for the side of Koala Kings.
I mean, you could have put a blindfold on this guy and he'd still have a higher rocket accuracy than I would. It's unreasonable the kind of things he's hitting. I don't know if they're trying to walk into it or if he's just that good at predictions. It's just.
I think it was definitely great flicks. It definitely seemed to be, or not necessarily great flicks, but great just leading shots and you know. And we are coming into this. Prince Azu does switch back to the Winston.
Oh, this hurts my soul.
This comp is a bit interesting. I'm surprised Emily's going on that Warrior. They are on defense.
They're trying to transition into the Goth Goats composition, but they're sticking onto the Pharmacy. I wouldn't hate that if they kept one extra piece, like for example, the Warrior, one with Mana for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, we do see Milo getting taken out quite early. However, it is quite close to the spawn. We do see them switch to Ana. Prince Azu is taken out as well. And I think just a bit of a chaotic fight as we're seeing kind of ults trying to be built up and just a lot of pokes.
That Ash is so low. Emily needs to find the healing. You're so aggressive. Oh, Emily's taken out. No healing for you, buddy.
All right, Noct is able to take out Emily, is able to take out the mech for Hypnotoss. However, is immediately traded out for Baby Diva. Sergeant Pepper takes out a couple, and Bad Ashes is able to take out Mila, however, is left alone. And already, I mean, we're starting to get into final fight territory in this map. If we're able to take out even more, so.
Yeah. That's just a really good stagger, but something I don't think I've mentioned yet is how much I absolutely adore this Chengdu Hunter style composition that Koala Kings have decided to commit onto. You know, going from the Panda comp to the Koala comp. You know, I guess there's something there. Yeah, I mean, it's just a really good comp, in my opinion, and it works really well.
As long as he's Sergeant Pepper utilizing that pulse bomb. Alrighty, yeah, using that to engage. Rocket does use the mines. Noct takes up V already. And I'm a bit worried for the mobility of the rest of the team. Prince Azu punches Noct, and we are now in a pause.
Interesting.
A little bit of pause. I do want to comment that, like, you know,
oh, that's unlucky.
What's going on? Oh, we have a disconnect?
Yeah, it's a disconnect.
All right.
That's
V disconnected.
Really unfortunate, actually.
Very unfortunate. I hope it wasn't that caused them to go down earlier.
It could have been based on the timings of when it all happened, and even more importantly, this is a really rough fight for Geometric. I mean, I've seen situations like this before, and they do not end well for the team that has the DC. Your spawn doors are close, but the payload's even closer. I don't know what the chances are here. You need to get a really good coalescence in order to get back into this fight, I think. And try and build up these tank ultimates. If this Primal Rage does come online, then you do stand a pretty good chance.
And we do see Emily coming in with that coalescence. Yeah, should be able to sustain most of the team. I mean, we saw at least in the Overwatch League, even if that Lucio goes down, coalescence is able to take most of the team, you know, full health for at least as long as the duration lasts, and maybe a couple seconds after.
140
And-
FPS, nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, exactly. And Milo, I don't know if Milo has anti, but that could play a huge factor into this next fight. We do see more ults coming for the side of Koala Kings. So
I think the most important piece to look at here is Hypnotoss. If Hypnotoss can build the self-destruct and survive, and if Hypnotoss can eat this Bionate that's eventually coming in, probably help with this Tracer damage as well, maybe prevent the Resurrect, then you stand a chance. But it's going to be really, really hard for him to hold on to this.
yeah, B's already trying to come back. Already, Emily with that with this very hidden coalescence is able to take a couple hidden coalescence because I couldn't see it on my screen at least. I call it the invisible beam of doom.
Yeah,
And actually, I mean, actually for a 5v6, that turned out very well for the side. I mean, I think there may have been a bit of good manners on both sides. I think
it was a 5v5 though. Noct did start off down, and Melo didn't get the proper peels, so Emily just beamed them down.
Fire is hacked. I don't think anything will be coming out of that. And we're coming into this with 3 ults on the side of Geometric. Mila already going down quickly by Emperor Zezu, excuse me. However, 3 already taken out by the side of Geometric. And with that res, we have a full team on the side of Koala Kings, taking out a bunch. Diva Ball taking out Sergeant Pepper, however. I think, Emily has to stall as long as she can. Badash is already going down, not taking out 2. V, it's all up to you. And I don't think she can hold for long. Okay. Asleep on Hypnotoss. Going into, I think, a bit of a boop. Badash is attempting to hold out as much as they can with the Death Blossom. Does take out T for 2, however, it is not enough. 2-1, Koala Kings take it to match point.
That's a really unfortunate situation. I say that because it all comes down to Sergeant Pepper's attempted back cap and one ever so small, tiny, minuscule mistake from Geometric.
Right.
You send your Diva back to peel for the payload. It's a good decision. That's who should be got back there. And the toss back there is a good decision. Then you see Churd on the payload trying to help defend. The Sombra there without the Translocator up, I believe, is easy pickings for the Tracer. No matter how much the Diva defends, there's no payload cart for healing for defenders, obviously. And the rest of your team is too busy just farming the enemy team's backline. Churd isn't able to get a single lick of health and just gets rolled over by Sergeant Pepper, which, sure, there's other situations, other things that had influenced that fight as well, but imagine if Churd, rather than dying on the payload, trying to help with a peel, which a Diva should be able to solve, was in the front line, helping the team protect themselves from the amount of pressure that they were receiving. There was a Primal Rage aggressively. There was a lot of things they were trying to do aggressively, but they couldn't quite find what they needed to happen. And unfortunately, it is because of the Sombra being at the wrong place at the wrong time. It's definitely not like a be-all, end-all situation. There's other things that could have been fixed, but it's just a small thing that really exemplifies, all right, Geometric are looking good, but there's a few things they should be tightening up, and that's just one of those small things that they can tighten up and help guarantee future map wins.
Right. Well, it is currently match point for the side of Koala Kings. We're going to be going to Rialto. How do you are we going to see Chengdu again? Are we going to see
Ryan.
Right.
I pretty clear what I expect to see.
Right. Going into this though, I'm excited. I think we may be seeing Orisa a little bit more again. However, Hammond's always fun. Reinhardt's of course the best, but honor, justice. Noct probably punching people on the face again with Pharah. I'm not breaking this time. I'm not gonna do it, but
So the thing is though, there's 2 things that are always played on Rialto. At least one side pulls out one side pulls out the other. Reinhardt comps and snipers. A lot of the time you'll see one team's going to try and spawn camp with a Reinhardt. A lot of times you see the other team are going to be playing a lot more defensive, a lot further back with an Orisa-based composition. Normally you'll see an Orisa Sigma with Hanzo Widow. That is a very, very strong comp because it lets you split off your double shield into two separate locations to where if either side gets pushed, the other side just hard farms. That's the main strength of double shield in the current meta.
Right.
And that's why a lot of people will play it on this map in particular, because there's so many off-angle areas that you can choose that it becomes really hard for the attackers to find much value. And that's why a lot of teams will just run rush to start off with on the defense, because it's a lot more, let's just bonk the enemy team in their spawn doors.
Right. Well, we are about to be jumping into this game on Rialto. Koala Kings, I it's looking quite good for them. Geometric has to be able to hold, or else, they are going to be going home. I'm excited. Are you?
I mean, I'm never not excited to watch more Koala Kings. They're a well-drilled team coming into this season. I said it before. They are the dead favorites to win it, in my opinion. If not their top 3 team. And it's never upsetting to watch them play the game unless user intel's in the game, which he's not. So that's a positive.
Okay. I see someone's trying to break me still. It's not going to work too well.
I'm trying to break you. I'm trying to break him.
We are slowly going to be going. Yeah, we are finally going to be going into our match point, at least for Koala Kings. Hopefully Geometric's able to hold it. And okay, we do see Geometric on attack first.
Ooh, they did telegraph. There was a bit of telegraphing of what they were going to play. I believe we saw a Hanzo Diva Mercy from Koala Kings to start off with, and I did see a Reinhardt from Zeju. So we can kind of tell immediately what compositions we can expect from the teams based off that alone. Maybe not a double shield, but a tank bunker for sure from Koala Kings is on the line. And Zeju, you got to know he's pulling out the Reinhardt.
And yeah, all right, we do see the mostly, Bad Ashes on that Kree instead of Symmetra. And once again, we see, I hope you're not okay. I think maybe a bit of a late call by the side of Koala Kings, going back to that not double shield, excuse me, Orisa Diva with the Pharah again, which, I mean, I don't think you can't disagree with the Pharah at this point.
Yeah, and I said it's a good map for snipers earlier, but it also does have the potential to be a good map for Pharah, especially in the first part of First Point. After that, it gets much harder, but the roofs around First Point are just a paradise with how many off angles and how many just bazinga baboomba, I'm taking out your back line.
Yep, so
sorry.
We do see Prince Zizu already going to the cart, pushing it a little bit. High ground all for the side of Koala Kings, and it's going to be hard for them it's going to be hard for the rest of Geometric to contest that. Noct already just getting a lot of pot shots in, I think mostly on shield currently. However, we do see Geometric rotating up the stairs, trying to contest. We see a couple of players jumping from the high ground. Null is able to have a great angle to shoot the rest of the team. Chud going low, however, is able to get healed. Knocked already half of that barrage.
So they're already giving up a lot of space, which is how you should be playing this composition. Right. Only problem is you got this.
Yeah, both immortality fields going low. Knocked taken out by Bad Ashes, and also taking out the support line. Okay, all the support line coming out. Church does go down. However, it is a 3v5 with no heals for the side of Koala Kings, and a quick first point for the side of Geometric.
I mean,
Ash is popping off there.
Click on everyone. Click on everybody and then some, but that's the main problem with giving up as much space as you do with this comp. And also, it's why I think the Sigma works better in this situation, on Rialto in particular. You're allowing yourself to play a more damaging composition, TIE Fighter on the Sigma, and you allow for Noct to play much more aggressive positions. You don't need to worry about survivability, because anybody who gets rolled over is getting rolled over. You just need to worry about damage onto this Reinhardt.
Yeah, Rocket playing a little passively. Okay, waiting for Null to use that Dragon Strike, trying to get in. Is able to take. Emily does have her immortality field being taken down. Not going for a flank barrage. Is going to get anything. It does take out Emily. Rocket does take out turn. Hypnotos is finally able to eliminate Noct. However, I think just a retreat by the side of Geometric. I liked that fight though. I mean, a little bit. I think maybe a little bit iffy. Almost didn't work out. I think in the end, Null is able to clean up some of the team.
I mean, I like it.
Huge ult bank. Look at this ult bank.
Oh my goodness, for sure. But I like it on the surface for Geometric, but at the same time, or not for Geometric, but for Koala Kings. At the same time, Geometric were fairly slow in what they were trying to do. This Bongo, gonna be really hard for them to push through. Gonna have to wait a second. Also, missed a swap. Wooly in for V.
Yeah, Wooly is back in for V. This is gonna be quite fun. We see a bunch of ults coming in. It's gonna be a battle between just pressing Q.
It's just there's so much damage. Every single time.
Takes out Emily though.
Yeah, every single time.
Ash is going down.
That's why you can't play
Chaos. Nerd
why-
chills.
Brawl. Yeah, it's why you can't play Brawl here, man. It's just so much space that you have to wade through, and even though they don't have those two ultimates, the Window and the Bongo, you still have the Dragon Strike, the Self-Destruct, the Barrage, the Valkyrie. You have so many things that you have to walk through. Even if you have 6 ultimates, just blow them all now and switch to something better, I think.
Yeah, maybe getting a fight off, switching, but it's gonna be hard for I think the rest of the team. That shield's gonna go down very quickly. Okay, we do see the Dragon Strike getting nothing for that. Hypnotoss is able to take out Rocket, immediately uses the Diva Bomb, making space for the rest of their team. Not coming in with all the barrage, takes out 3 Prince Zazu, is able to take out TIE Fighter. However, I don't think it's gonna matter. And I think another hold for the side of Koala Kings. And once again though, I want to comment on this and I want to point this out. No ults being used besides that Diva Bomb.
Yeah, you need to start rolling. You're saving up too long, and for what? You've lost 2 minutes now on the second point. You still have 5 ultimates left in the bank. Pop them, get ready to play something else. If you're going to be committing onto this comp really hard, though, I think what they did the last fight is a good plan. They went into the room rather than, wait. What's going on?
Bash is taking out a couple, is taken up by Null, however, in the end. Mortality Field for Emily is gone. Once again, no ults being used for the side of Geometric. Okay, we finally see the sound barrier coming out for the side of Wooly. Milo, okay, finally seeing ults engaged. Diva Bomb cutting out for TIE Fighter, getting nothing. Milo is taken out. And I think actually potentially a win? Okay, never mind. We do see 2 taken out by the side for the side of Geometric in another trade. I think this time we saw 4 ults come out and didn't, got a little bit of ult push. Emily's still holding onto that window though.
Yeah, and out of all the ultimates that you have in this composition, the most expendable is Amplification Matrix. It charges in 30 seconds, it has good value, but it's easily abandonable depending on what the enemy team does. It's an ultimate where you don't need to be saving it very much, but more importantly, one of the main rules with ult stacking is you don't want to repeat value with your ults. And
okay, Noct tries to use Barrage, takes out Wooly, however, is immediately taken out. Rocket does take out a couple. Charge getting brought out by Prince Zazu. I have to demote him back to Prince for that charge. The toss is gonna just jump off the map in order to reset. And yeah, we're going down to final fight territory. They have to do something. They're not switching. How do you think they're gonna take it?
I mean, well, first off, he's been demoted to Bishop Zazu actually, but
it would be Duke, I think, at this point, actually.
Duke Zazu, I support that. But finally, the Amplification Matrix comes out in a really good position, too. Gonna be able to walk around it and get some good value, but... Oh, this is...
We do see the trade by Milo, and I think already getting a little bit too much there. Tate does take out Churd. Okay, oh my god, and a great pickoff by Null, taking out Bad Ashes in the middle of their Deadeye. Noct is rezzed. And I think this is already a 6v4, and with Null popping off, Diva Bomb coming out, however, is able to take out Null, however, Noct does take out Wooly at the same time. And Shatter used, however, not getting too much, I think. And at this point, it is Hypnotoss left. And I think, okay, couple people are left. Okay, couple people are coming in. Church does come in, Bad Ashes does come in. Duke Bishop, Duke Zazu is trying to come in on that ball. Okay, I mean, stalling out fairly well, though.
Yeah,
it's
just an eventuality at this point, though. You can stagger as long as you want, unless Wooly gets some ridiculous beat and somebody absolutely just pops the hell off. This bomb is the thing that's gonna pop off.
Two going down, and no one was able to touch. A bit of a C9 for the side of Hypnotoss. Excuse me, not of Hypnotoss, of the side of Geometric. I don't know why I think Hypnosis is like such a great team name, but I just want to like change their name in my head to Hypnosis. I think it's because my partner's been playing Pokemon.
Initiating match.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Hypnosis in whatever game, I'm judging them for that because Hypnosis, not a very good move, but let's not worry about that. I mean, there's so much aggression coming out from Koala Kings. They're using their ultimates proactively. They're using their positioning proactively. It feels like they're not really making too many mistakes in that front. But I have to come back to the composition that was being committed to so hard,
Ready for battle.
and I don't agree with it. Geometric played the brawl for so long that they didn't really feel like they wanted to mix things up. Like, we're gonna play the brawl, we're gonna keep doing it, even though at this point in the map, it's suboptimal. It's probably one of the worst comps at any point in the game, really. Trying to play brawl second point Rialto, this bridge is a death trap.
Right.
Soldier Cassidy.
Yeah, we do see a Soldier Cassidy brawl comp on the side of Geometric. Of course, your favorite Chengdu comp for the side of Koala Kings. A very close hold for Duke Zezu. Can't call him Duke for too much longer. Going back, I'm just gonna go back to Prince. I think they're immediately spotted, instantly trying to go to point, trying to take out that diva. However, TIE Fighter is able to get out of there.
Yeah,
Out of there.
So one small thing with the Winland comp is what I like to call this, is you need to play, and like you need to give the enemy team a second to get out of their spawn doors before you rush, or else they're just going to run back into the spawn doors, which is what we saw from TIE Fighter.
Yeah, and Noct already just able to take out two, getting everyone very low, and just great midair shot on taking out Wooly. And yeah, just an easy first fight win. Obviously this does allow Geometric to come back, take another fight or two. But that was just, I mean, look at this ult charge on the side of Koala Kings. I mean, you have Noct already 40%, Rocket, TIE Fighter off, or excuse me, off, 40% off. 3 people already 40% off. Okay, and Noct, okay, taking Chird off the map. I didn't even see that.
I have to question the soldier pick. I don't understand it. If you're trying to counter the Pharah, it's very clearly not working out for you right now.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to prepare for second point, that's not the point of the composition. The point of the composition is spawn hold for as long as possible. It doesn't make much sense from a compositional standpoint, and honestly, the Reinhardt getting more kills onto the Pharah than the soldier is exemplifying that.
Yeah, we do see the mines coming out. I think this may be a little bit of an even trade right now. I don't know how I feel about that. Those mines, I think he was just attempting to take it out as much as he can. Null is taken out by Wooly, so great little pick off. Wooly does have that beat, so I think they're going to be able to use that. Just be able to save more of the team. 2 DPS ults.
Not only is Wooly about to have the beat, but you have both support ults on the defenders right now. Meanwhile, Koala King's coming in, no support ults at this exact moment. Going to be really hard for them to get the defensive utility to run through this Earth Shatter if it does come down on somebody important like Rocket.
Null attempting to use a pulse bomb. I didn't really get anything. TIE Fighter is taken out of that mech. Emily trying to just frantically heal the rest of her team. Okay, getting Noct doesn't get anything for the first time I think in quite a while off of that barrage. Does take out part of the team, and we're already back at a huge ult advantage for the side of Geometric.
It's a small choke really from Koala Kings and the decisions they're making. Noct finally realizing maybe I shouldn't be playing one-tricking Pharah as much, but I mean, it's such good brawl play as well from Geometric. 5 ultimates available, about to be the golden row. This is going to be a really hard point to push into. You need to start forcing.
Yeah, you need to force ults. You need to force something out of the side of Geometric. Okay, Rocket already going low. Okay, Prince Azu does attempt to use Earth Shatter. Badass just tries to utilize that Deadeye off of it. I don't think it's going to get anything. Does take out TIE Fighter out of that mech again. No ults are being used on the side of Koala Kings just yet. Milo does have that. Does he use Nano, I believe, on Hammond. Interesting choice there. We do see a bunch of ults coming out from the side of Geometric in order to hold it. Stun barrier and the amplification matrix does come off. Okay, attempting to taking out Noct, however, I don't think is able to get anything from it. Badass just takes out Rocket, however.
This is such a scrappy fight right now. It looks like defenders fail, but they've also used so many ults this fight. And no, is he gonna bring it back?
Tracer diff coming
Popping
in.
ults. We want to win this.
Okay, Churd does take out TIE Fighter. Okay, T for 2 takes out Badash's tower. Churd does trade it out, and with the visor is able to take out 2. And I think bring it back. We are in final fight. Okay, we are in overtime. This is going to be a really scrappy fight for the rest of this point. We do see 3 on the side. Okay, Milo is taken out by Prince Azu's Fire Strike. And are we going to be seeing a first point hold by the side of Geometric? It is going to be intense. I think it may be able to be done. T for 2 is trying to hold as much as they can. And with a huge shatter, I don't think anyone is left. In GG, we're going to be going to tie breaks.
I mean, and again, I hate
chills.
to size Geometric, but I just don't agree with the Soldier 76 pick. But the other 5 players played spectacularly, especially Bad Ashes.
Right.
Especially, I think it was Hypnotos, who were playing super well, negating the value from Koala Kings, bringing us to a map 5, by the way. I thought it was done.
I thought it was done. Yeah,
At the end of
totally done.
I thought Koala Kings were going to easily blow their way through, but it's just for so many small mistakes from Koala Kings, not something you see from them really ever. They're such a well-coached team, so smart. And it's so rare that somebody forces mistakes out of them, and right then and there is when we saw it. The nano boost onto the ball and not the Echo or Diva for point control. The small micro decisions of positioning and who to focus fire, and the compositions as well. If they just switch to Brawl from the start and try to run through that initial part and then switch on to something else, like that composition works well on second or that very end of first, then you have a chance. But the payload got stuffed up where it needs to be stuffed up for Geometric. It got stuffed at the start where the Brawl comp can really succeed and prevent the pokey composition, oh, excuse me, I'm gross, from getting where it needs to be. And it was such a good play from Geometric, punishing all the tiny little mistakes that came up from Koala Kings at every turn.
Yeah, just, I mean, huge play. I think at the start, they were able to really beat out that rush, you know, trying to hold spawn doors. It was a very close, I think it wasn't very close for quite a while. And then I think just starting with that second fight, just, you know, you got the ults rolling, and it was just insane.
And I think that coming into our last map of whatever it's going to be, it's a really important decision for Koala Kings. But even more important is they need to make a bad decision for Geometric rather than a good decision from them. Like, let's say I think Lijiang immediately is off the table. I don't remember what our first map was in this series.
Well,
it was Nepal. Sorry, you cannot let you guys go to Lijiang. You did win the mirror brawl on control at the start, but I think that you see Geometric are warmed up. They've been playing brawl this whole time. That's what they're committing to. So you don't want to go to Lijiang. I think the best decision for them is probably Ilios, depending on which control maps are available. I believe it's all of them, if I remember correct.
So we are going to be going into the just huge plays, I think, from the side of Bad Ashes from Geometric. That 4K was just so huge. Knocked, of course, I think popped off on defense on that Pharah, but it just, at the end of it all, I mean, great hold, but then it just didn't work out in the end.
Yeah, it was just what a shot there from Null as well. Again, small poor decision from Bad Ashes to start the Heinen where they did, but I mean, at this rank, you can't expect people to be perfect. Small mistakes like that are going to happen. Just so impressive that Null is able to punish mistakes like that.
Right, and I think, you know, just at the end of it all, just a huge play. But, you know, match point, I think we're going to be, I think Koala Kings is going to be deciding very soon.
So they're thinking about Ilios. This is what I said earlier. I think that this is the correct decision. Because when it comes to all of the control maps, Lijiang, get away from it. Oasis, you have 1 point, which is really scary.
Right.
Ilios is pretty comfortable, and then missing 1.
Also, I think we are in a bit of tech issues for just a second. Ty, if you could check Discord. And yeah, I think it is, if Ilios is out, it would have to be Lijiang Tower, and
I love it when that happens.
yeah, Lijiang Tower I'm gonna be curious to see if they pick Li Jung. It's gonna be really interesting. Geometric has shown just a great job on that brawl. Of course, I think it also depends though. I think, you know, Mason kind of I think would favor Koala King. But okay, we do see Oasis, I think, coming out for the side of Koala King. And yeah, all right. We are officially going into Oasis. I'm really excited. Match point. Ty, you ready?
Yep, and not only am I ready, my webcam is also ready. Sorry about that. I guess that my computer just hates me sometimes. But I don't like the Oasis pick personally. I would have 100% picked Ilios. I was forgetting about Busan, by the way. Another terrible map.
Oh, Busan, yeah.
But
I forget I have a control map, honestly, at this point.
But I think out of the available options, Oasis is probably your second best point.
Right.
You just do not want it to go to university. The moment it goes to university, or if you lose one of these other 2 rounds, you are feeling much, much worse. Ilios does not have a point. It's especially brawl-centric. That's why I would have preferred it. But coming into Oasis, it's still definitely doable.
Yeah. And we are in our match point. We are starting on... I don't know why I knew all the names for quite a while. I know University, I know City Center. I forget this one. Or is this City Center?
I think that's
City Center.
There's Gardens,
City Center.
City Center.
Oh, Gardens. That's the other one.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's one of those things. I always call this one the high ground one, since high ground on point is so important.
The T ground, I like to call it.
the T pose high ground.
High ground. I didn't want to say it, but you did.
All right, we do see the Chengdu matchup coming from, or the Chengdu style coming from Koala Kings again. I'm kind of a bit concerned how that turned out on the last map. However, you know, Geometric using that soldier again too, immediately taking high ground. Is it will take it though.
I think they're taking the wrong lessons from the right decisions. The Soldier 26 wasn't the best part of their defense there, but they're still committing onto it, mostly because of the high ground. But I'm not a huge fan of it, especially if they're not going to be using the high ground.
Yeah, Prince Izu was slept there. It got fairly low. It did force Emily to use that Immortality Field. Bad Ashes does take out Sergeant Pepper immediately, however. T for 2. Okay, takes out 2. Emily does take out Milo as well, and just another clean fight for Geometric.
I mean, I hate to say it, but there are 5 players who are playing like absolute monsters on Geometric right now, and they are just doing so much work. Emily already has the amplification matrix. It's been about 40 seconds. Already on it. Don't worry about it. Nothing to worry about.
We don't see any changes currently from the side of Koala Kings. Emily, of course, does have that amplification matrix. Uses it early, and I don't know how I feel about that. Prince Azu's already... Okay, they are able to take out Milo, however. And I don't know... Okay, Rocket's already taken out by Bad Ashes. 2 are taken out by Bad Ashes. Hypnotos takes out High Fighter out of the mech. Back Cap, however, I don't know if it's going to last for too long enough to take it out. Oh my god, Bad Ashes is just...
A monster.
You know, monster today. Aren't they supposed to be, like, flat?
Yeah, that's what they say, but sometimes see performances like this and be like...
I think Ons is currently playing for the side of Geometric. Okay, a little back cap again. I think... Okay, Rocket is on point. However, immediately is caught. Bad Ashes with that Deadeye. No ults for the side of Koala Kings just yet.
It feels like Prince Zuch is a little bit split off. Good back cap, but they're only
taking out a meme too.
Yeah, but they're really only playing for the back cap right now, not really playing for fights.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned. It just seems to be back capping. They're not really engaging at this point. Okay, Barrage is able to take out that Deadeye. Churd, however, does take out Knock in the end. I'm a bit worried. Okay, we do see a couple picks. However, Hypnotos taking out Knocked and Rocket, and with that visor, I think Churd is going to be able to clean out everyone else. And okay, well, Kings able to get a couple point. Obviously, if there was no back cap, this would be about 90% right now.
Mathematically, it would be 103%, but who's asking?
I mean, you know, they had a back cap a little bit earlier. They re-switched it. You know, but okay, we're coming into this beat. Amplification matrix, shatter, coming for the side of Geometric. And only a Valkyrie.
Yeah, this Valve needs to find some work here, but
Yeah.
T-Boost falls immediately.
Keeper 2 falls down immediately. Milo and Rocket are attempting to back up. Are able to get it off, however. Noct is taken out immediately as well, though. At this point, I'm a bit worried about these backups. Like, it is starting to sway the game a little bit. A great clean, however, on the side of Geometric. Rocket attempting to do as much as he can.
I mean, if you don't win this map, you are feeling horrified if you're Koala Kings. This is what I was talking about earlier. This is probably the second best map for what you're playing right now. So coming into this and potentially losing the first round to back cap, or not to back caps, but winning only because of back caps can be really scary.
All right, yeah, and I do want to comment that earlier we did see Sergeant Favor getting taken out by Noct after immediately having their pulse bomb taken out by TIE Fighter. Huge kind of couple trades coming out right now. Prince Aegis immediately is trying to hurry back as much as they can. Wooly, a bit low, however, I think is able to gonna be safe. Mines have been used. Slam coming out.
I mean,
Okay, is able to take out that Milo.
it's just such absurdly good communication that it's 99% for Koala Kings, and they have not won a single fight. That's just them back capping it.
So we do see 99% no real fight
No
wins.
fight wins, 99%.
No fight wins. This is a bit chaotic right now. This is definitely, I think earlier we saw very structured, very coached Overwatch, and now I think we're watching that very Chengdu style, I think you would call it.
Yeah, this is 2018,
Chaos.
not 2021 Chengdu.
This is pure Chengdu mode. Okay, we do see Kurt trying to use that amplification matrix in order to get a lot from that visor. Isn't really able, it gets a couple people, however, isn't using too much. TIE Fighter utilizing that. Okay, takes out a lot. And are we gonna see the first fight win? Okay, the first fight win is going to bring it into Koala King's favor, and I think the first point, or the first map on Helios,
Yeah,
or not Oasis, goes the side of Koala Kings.
they took, again, taking the wrong lessons from the right decisions.
Yeah.
This one from, I believe it was map 2, Eichenwald. That was map 3, actually. But when they sent one person back to stop the back, two people back to stop the back cap, they did that and it was wrong. Now they're sending they're sending nobody back to the back cap. They're just letting the back cap happen at this point. And I think that's where things are going wrong for, you know, like, that's just obviously where things are going wrong. Like, they're not dealing with these back caps. They lost one fight. If they sent anyone back there to stop the back cap, they would probably have just, this round might have already been over. That's how long they let the back caps go on for.
Yeah. We do see a bit of the the zombie comp is confirmed. Emily does switch to that Moira. I was wondering why that Baptiste was there for a little bit. Same comp for the side of Koala Kings. Okay, Geometric immediately going towards high ground.
It's a really good match, and that power drive, I think, shows why. 3 people launched up, 28% already to the minefield.
Yeah, and Hypnotoz is already fairly low. Prince Daisy was anti-tower. Nothing came of it. Bad Ashes. Okay, Bad Ashes does take out TIE Fighter immediately from that ult. Most of the team... Okay, Milo is taken out. Heals are going to be very low for the side of Koala Kings. Noct is trying to do as much damage as they can. Rez does get up on Milo, however. Half the team is already gone. And just okay, bit of a chaotic fight.
They're just flies. Like, they can't kill all of the players from Koala Kings, because even though they have such good close range damage, there's just flies swarming in the air that they cannot catch. And finally, the attack's gonna bring one of the flies down.
Yeah, very chaotic fight. I will say though, like, if we look at the ult usage, Milo does switch to that Lucio mercy for heals currently. I'd be surprised if they don't switch. Okay, no switching currently. Mello on that Lucio, a couple ults on the side. I'm a bit concerned actually for Koala Kings at the moment.
It does make some sense though. It's not the best option that they could have chosen, but Melo was getting ran over like a pinata, and the Lucio provides some backline pressure to stop them from just running things over.
Yeah, Coalitions does come out for the side of Emily. Noct attempting to use the barrage does help Mello get Bad Ashes in the end. However, it is still okay. Noct also is able to take out Emily. Rocket using mines, kind of getting a little bit from it. A little damage poked. Yeah.
Primal barely comes online at the perfect time, and the
Just
EMP.
seeing a lot of cues. Okay, Noct takes. Okay, EMP does go off, but does it go off? I didn't see that.
It went off, but it's not getting the value. At least it shouldn't be. The Death Blossom, they're pulling it back.
Okay, Death Blossom does come out. This is a very chaotic fight. The zombie comp lives, and as the name shows, the zombies rise. 80% on the board for the side of Geometric. No ults, at least very soon on their side, however. But at the same time, only Valkyrie once again. I mean, obviously Diva Bomb, but Valkyrie though.
They have to rush to get back into the point though, and this is one of the rounds you needed to win if you're Koala Kings. They look attacked. That might be a pick off onto Lucio, or at least some pressure, but
Not taking out 2 already. We are in overtime, however. They have to win this fight or else they will lose this series. Okay, or excuse me, not lose this series, lose this map. I kind of forgot that they won first point. I just would not remember it. Bad Ashes traded out for Noct, and no res is available currently. Sergeant Pepper does come back. Sergeant Pepper is res, however, with that pulse bomb, and it is okay.
Ashes is the freaking hero, man. I don't know what to tell you.
That was quite intense. Mello is taken out already. Valkyrie has been popped by T for 2. Prince Azu takes out TIE Fighter, however. Okay, and also sure takes out. Okay, I think at this point, I think it's just a cleanup again for this fight. But I'm just worried that Noct is gonna take it out again. And yeah, Bad Ashes just once again they're just showing dominance.
I mean,
Emily with the invisible why is this invisible coalescence? The invisible beam of doom. And at this point, I think it's just a stall on the side of Koala Kings.
even if it's not, even if they somehow get a chance to win this next fight, you still have the EMP. You're about to have 3 more ultimates online as well. There's nothing that they can do to bring this back without some insane major pop-off. And Sgt. Pepper might have it. Oh, never mind. They don't touch.
Yeah, at the end of it all, Geometric does take it, and we are match point, final round, 99% to 99%.
So, coming in here, right? Koala Kings are not a bad brawl team. They're just objectively not. Last season, that was probably their best composition, in my opinion. Coming in here, they're not at a huge disadvantage, even though Rocket, sure, might not be as good as Zeju has been on the Reinhardt, you know, the absolute mad lad. But still a good Reinhardt, unless they decide they don't need the Reinhardt. All
Okay,
the
double shield
damage.
with the junk. I think. Okay, does switch. Okay. Oh, okay. We do see the Junkrat. Okay, one of these players is gonna be damage boosted.
Yeah, the damage spam comp. The
Damage spam comp. Let's see how it goes. Getting a couple picks off as they are immediately going towards the high ground.
immediately.
Okay. Oh, is Sergeant Pepper takes out Churd a little bit. Oh, I'm a little concerned already. Noct does take out Wooly.
I mean,
A huge amount of damage.
I was really scared for Koala Kings coming in here. But I remember Sgt. Pepper can just kill the entire enemy team sometimes. Like, that's right now.
Yeah, Mortality Field brought out. I don't think it's gonna really do much. Rocket is taken out. However, I think as long as Noct stays alive and as long as Sgt. Pepper stays alive, yeah, there's nothing's gonna come up for it. We do see the res on Rocket, and a very I wouldn't say necessarily clean, but a very almost easy win for the side of Koala Kings.
Yeah, and you cannot get staggered right now, Emily. Ooh, that's close. But, I mean, the retire coming on early should not be much of a surprise. What could be a bit more of a surprise, the Dragon Strike's already up. Sgt. Pepper, an absolute madman. He's a freak. He's a monster.
Yeah, Bad Ashes I think are closest on the side of Geometric for ults. Okay, huge. Okay, 3 kills for the side of Noct using that. Oh my god, nerd chills. I'm getting absolute nerd chills for the side of Koala Kings. They you know.
Don't quote me on this, but if I'm not mistaken, Tifer damage boosted Noct when he put down the trap and concussion mine, so those would be damage boosted. And then when they walked over him, they got the damage boosted trap and mine, while Sgt. Pepper was still being damage boosted. Dude, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do with that either. Are you serious?
Okay, Tire taking out 3. I'm already. This is nerd chills are coming out. I can't believe the absolute domination that we are seeing right now on the side of Koala Kings. And I will say, I think the trap and concussive mine does one shot anyway, so it doesn't necessarily matter.
One shot Reinhardt, though. Tell you that.
I think he was getting pot shots off too. We do see 3 ults on the side. Switch back to the zombie comp with 18 left on the board. Dragon Strike coming out, however, I don't think is getting anything. Okay, does take out Wooly. Wooly does bop up, like move off TIE Fighter, however. Bongo coming out, taking out Hypnotoss. We are in final fight territory. They have to stall as long as they can, but I don't think it's gonna work out. And this is GG. An absolute domination. Koala King wins the series 3-2.
I'm sorry, Marsupial I didn't mean it. I agree with your choice of Oasis now. I would never slander your name again. I'm so sorry. But, like,
Yeah.
it's just such good play from Koala Kings there. 3-2 taking over Geometric. I didn't expect it to be that close, honestly.
Yeah.
Geometric really stood up to their level. If there's anything that they could realistically fix, I think that the main thing I'm looking at is that Geometric are slow with their compositional swaps. That 6-man switch is what should have happened there. The zombie comp, the 6-man, the goth goats is what I like to call it. If they made that switch a little bit sooner, I would have loved that decision. Making it at the very last second when you're not going to be able to build ultimates,
Right.
it's not the best decision there.
Yeah, that was just an insane last round. I mean, I think just too much damage on the side of Koala Kings. And honest, I don't know how I feel about at the end of it all. How I feel about Goth Goats at the end. Just, I don't really think there's gonna be the sustain there with the Hanzo, with the Junkrat, especially in Mercy damage boosting both of them. So it was a bit worrying.
I can't believe we almost forgot this. But you know what time it is? It's time to pick our match MVP. Who do you think, out of all the players we saw tonight, deserves to be crowned the most impressive player of tonight?
You know, at the end of it all, obviously Sergeant Pepper did pop off at the end for the side of Koala Kings. However, I have to give it to the Farrah King. Knocked just won 3 maps, I think, won at least 2 maps for the side of Koala Kings, and almost brought it for the, almost won Rialto for them. So I have to give it to Noct.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really disagree with that. Noct was an absolute monster on the Farah throughout the whole night. He also showed some good flexibility as well. I would probably pick somebody else personally. I think the main tank work that was being put in through Rocket was absolutely excellent. He played every main tank hero. He played them all to a very high degree, and I'm just not realizing that could have been user on his ult. So if it was, I'm changing my mind, and I'm gonna give it to the same guys you did. Yeah, Noct. Yep. If it was user on his ult, then it's not him. But if it wasn't user on his ult, then it goes to Rocket for me.
Right. Well, just what an insane series. I think, those last two, the Eichenwald and Rialto were a bit chaotic. And then, of course, I think we got into the first round on Oasis. And Koala King, of course, winning that first round basically off of back caps. I mean, just what an insane first round.
And something else I want to point out: when they came out playing on that composition on University, I was like, okay, what are you doing? This is not going to work. There's no way. And then they just make it work. They had such a good idea of what they want to do on Oasis. They were thinking about Ilios, but the fact that they stuck to their guns and did what they knew they could do on Oasis is even more impressive than making the mid-game adaptation for me, because you knew they were thinking about it. They decided, you know what? We're going to stick to what we do well, and we know we're going to win with it.
Yeah, that was what an insane game. What an insane series. I had a lot of fun. I got quite a lot of nerd chills. I maybe laughed a little too much on the first point of Eichenwald, but at the end of it all, it was a lot of fun. Any shout outs you want to give to the sides that we just watched, Ty?
No, I want to go home.
All right. Well, you can, of course, follow Tranquility Gaming at OW Tranquility on all social medias. Ty, where can they find you?
I actually need to rebuild some of my followers. My main account on Twitter got banned, so follow me at do_dia. I'm a very big Dia simp. He's my favorite Overwatch League player. That's why I made an alt account for Dia season. Also, follow me on Twitch. I'm pretty sure it's just Tymunster. Outside of that, that's all I got.
Right. And you can follow me at TheZohan casts on basically also every social media output. However, this has been the Tranquility Gaming Harmony Tier preseason. I hope you all have a good night.